What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Oscar's Cozy Corner. Now, this was certainly not a video that I was expecting to make anytime soon, certainly not for a couple of weeks, but this afternoon, Gameloft have tweeted out that we can tune into their YouTube channel tomorrow to get our first look at a trailer for DLC number 3, the leaks were correct, Wishblossom Ranch. Now, there's not a huge amount of information from this tweet, but we do get a look at a screenshot or perhaps even the actual cover key art for this DLC. So let's just get straight into it. Let's take a look at that tweet. Let's take a look at that cover art and see what we can find. So here we go. This is a look at the tweet from Gameloft from the Disney Dreamlight Valley account, and it says, "A new adventure awaits. Join us on YouTube September 3rd for an exclusive reveal," and a link out to the YouTube channel, and of course, this nice big key art. Now, this seems to me, before we just get into this key art, completely out of nowhere. I wonder if the leak on Steam was real, because we do know that this is going to be called Wishblossom Ranch. So I wonder if Gameloft's cards have kind of been forced and they have been dealt for them by Steam by that accident. But it does go to show and does prove that that leak that we saw on Steam with the name Wishblossom Ranch was in fact true. I honestly wasn't expecting this for another couple of weeks, well into October. I thought it would come with the next update at the very least. We usually get some sort of mail. This is not the showcase. It is worth noting. We'll talk about that in just a sec. Let's jump over to YouTube and see what else it says. So here we are on the YouTube page. This is currently live. There is a live chat over here. We see Hot Coco. We see Nora from Horrible Gaming, the Decorista. There is a bunch of content creators in this chat right now while I'm recording. But if I scroll down just slightly, it's probably going to disappear right behind my head. So I will scroll to just about there, where it says Disney Dreamlight Valley Wishblossom Ranch expansion announcement trailer premiere. So to me, that says that this is not actually going to be the DLC showcase that we usually see, the really extended one where we have a sit down with some of the creators and some of the staff involved in creating those expansions. This to me looks like it's a premiere for the trailer, so it'll probably be about around a minute and a half long, which is usually pretty standard for their trailers, and it will hopefully give us a look at everything that will be coming with this next DLC. I'm still pretty shocked that this is out, so let's just jump straight into a big view of the key art and see what the heck is going on with Wishblossom Ranch. All right, so here we go. This is our very first look at our brand new DLC, Wishblossom Ranch, and it is quite visually overwhelming. There's a lot going on. It's very rich. There's lots of patterns. There's lots of wood. It's definitely not what I thought when I thought about Ranch. But of course, the first thing that sticks out to me immediately is this horse right by here. Now, I know that horses have been discussed coming to the game for a while, and they've been on a lot of wish lists. Of course, we did get that DLC teaser at the end of Storybook Vale, which showed us Maximus. Now, that was our pretty much first hint that we were going to be getting horses. It does have a saddle on, this horse. So to me, that probably means that this is going to be some sort of mountable horse, maybe rideable. I would think that if this is called Wishblossom Ranch, there needs to be an element of riding a horse in that. It is just a natural element for a ranch, and I do 100% expect to see that. Fingers crossed. We do also get a look at some really nice structures. I don't really know what these could be described as. They're very like, I don't know, Netherlands to me. I'm getting the sound of music. The hills are alive. It's very that aesthetic. There's tulips everywhere. There's some new plants just down here, which we can see the character in a brand new outfit is watering. So they do look like new forageable tulips. We see some tulips on all of the structures. It's very Scandinavian. I think maybe some of my Scandinavian viewers might correct me on that. I'm looking at this in the background here. There's this sort of like this maypole. I don't know if that is the correct name for it, but in the UK, around the start of May, I remember as a child, we used to walk ribbon around a big pole. It's very that to me. I'm not 100% sure if that is accurate, but the styling is beautiful. I absolutely love the color scheme. It's got pastels in it. We've got all sorts of different colors. It's very, very rustic, which you would expect from a ranch aesthetic. But the other thing that's kind of like jumping out to me is that everything is covered in snow. So it seems as though there is some sort of snowy element to this. Maybe this is up in the hills that may be alive with the sound of music. Maybe this is in some sort of transitional state between spring or winter and spring, something along those lines. We do get a little clock right over here, which is actually very similar to the clock that we had in one of our very first Storybook Vale teasers. So that is a nice little throwback or a nice little Easter egg. One thing I am noticing on this right hand side is that this tree has lights in it. Now I know that when they brought one of the foliage items to the premium shop around Christmas time and it had the lights on it and it had the snow on it, I think that many players were like, we want some of that. We want some more light. So this does look very festive. I mean, it's perfect for the time of year that it's kind of anticipated to come out. I would expect to see this DLC maybe towards the end of November. However, this is a very early trailer, but that is promising, seeing those lights on that tree just over there. And then if I move my camera over to the right, we can see that there are some more snowy trees, these ones without lights here. So these are some more fir trees. We do have a couple of fir trees in the game, but we don't have any snowy ones as far as I'm aware. We can see some sort of new shrub down here. This looks like a recolored version of the really big pink and green one that we got with the Storybook Vale. I'm seeing a little rocking chair, which is adorable. This building is pretty big by here. And then of course we have this sort of fortress up on the mountaintop just up here amongst the rocks. I suspect this is going to be integral to some sort of storyline. I love the turrets on it. I love the spires. They kind of look like mushrooms, which to me is a nice little callback to the Storybook Vale, but it's definitely fitting in with that rustic aesthetic that they have going on in this key art already. There's a bunch more buildings down here. There's an archway with some lighting in it. I don't know if these are going to be customizable. Maybe they are part of the actual biome itself. Whatever this biome ends up being called, maybe tulip something, that would be very cute given all of the flowers everywhere. And the final thing that I kind of want to point out up here is Northern Lights. So I don't actually think that we have Northern Lights in the game right now. It is one of those things that I think I've seen a couple of times on wish lists, and I've thought, wouldn't it be really nice if there were some Northern Lights in the sky, an aurora of some sort? They are amazing to see in real life. And it looks as though we will be getting a look at some of those in game, which is really nice because with the weather, there's not really that much more that they can do. There are pretty much all weather types in the game. So adding that into the night sky is going to be really visually beautiful. So I'm very excited for that, even though it's just wispy and in the background. But on the whole, because I wasn't sure what to expect, I'm very into this aesthetic. I did think that it was going to be tough for Gameloft to follow up the Storybook Vale because so many players commented on how beautiful it was. The biomes were really rich and visually interesting, and I didn't know where they were going to take it, but to a snowy mountaintop that's celebrating something with bunting and garlands all over the place, it wasn't what I was thinking. And when we saw Wishblossom Ranch, that certainly is not what I had pictured. That is a far cry away from all of the cowboy and sort of like Jesse and, I don't know, desert, maybe Arizona style aesthetics that I was picturing. So I don't know. I'm very excited right now. This is a lot to take in, but I can't wait to see what they have in store. All right, gang, that is it for this video. That was just a quick look at the announcement, a quick look at the key art. I'm sure that I've missed stuff. If I have missed anything in particular, maybe there's a reference that I'm missing, maybe you want to correct me on something, let me know down in the comments. I do think that this is coming a little bit earlier than planned from Gameloft. I suspect they were questioning how to handle that accidental Steam leak, which apparently has turned out to be real. So there's a lot going on. I wouldn't want to be in Gameloft's offices right now, but we're just going to have to see tomorrow what happens. We're gonna have to see what's in the trailer. I will be live. We're gonna be doing this instead of our usual weekly reset. We're gonna be breaking down this trailer, hopefully seeing some characters, which I have not talked about today, but we might get at least 3 characters if this is a full DLC. Fingers crossed, September 3rd, 9 AM PT, 12 PM ET. Wow, let's go. I'll see you then.